Shout out to DVD Era TV. Salute. DVD Era. Sub-Zero was a monster in the DVD era, son.
I'm the original fireman, straight up and down. My first album is called The Opposite of H2O, mother. What is that? Fire.
Now, Dragon is a rapper from the Bronx, New York. Dragon was the only kid, and both of his parents was hooked on drugs. By the age of 7, Drag had to go see a psychologist, and by the age of 15, Dragon was homeless.
You said by the time you were 17, you were homeless.
By the time I was 15, I was homeless.
You were homeless at 15?
Yeah.
Drag was raised by his grandmother, but as a teenager, he decided to leave her house because she didn't understand him pursuing his rap career. Now, a lot of the supporters has been asking me to do a video on how Dragon got his scar on his face. Now, supposedly, he was in some type of conflict, and he was hit on the side of his face and left with a permanent scar. Now, Dragon never makes it clear what he got hit in his face with. Could have been a bottle, could have been a gun, or it could have even been a razor. But on his song Life is Short, he actually says, I got busted over the left side of my face back, but I had to fix that. Briefly speaking on how he got his scar on his face. Now, Drag will get his big break selling Locks and DMX mixtapes on 125th in Harlem, and he'll sell around 20 mixtapes to D from Rough Riders. But luckily, D remembered meeting Drag 3 years prior, so he told Drag to call him later on that day, and the rest was history.
He's like, yo, give me a call, and I'll meet him later on tonight, like around 8 o'clock. And I called him at 7:59, and the rest is history.
Now, Drag will go to the studio where he battled DMX for about an hour, and even though X out-rapped him, DMX gained respect for him. DMX would then go on and co-sign Drag, and he'll get signed to Rough Riders. Now, DMX and Drag on to go stay at a Rough Riders house in North Carolina, where they worked on their albums together. Now, after becoming brothers with X, Drag would appear on DMX's first album on a song called For My Dogs, which was the second song Drag ever recorded. Now, Drag would appear on X's second album, Flesh on My Flesh, Blood on My Blood, on a song called No Love For Me. And after, Drag would become X Hype Man on a Survival of the Illest tour. Now, after working with X and staying on his grind, making a name for himself, Drag will have his hit single for Down Bottom featuring Juvenile, which was on the Rough Riders Ride or Die Volume 1 compilation album. Drag would now have a few songs under his belt and graduate from just being DMX Hype Man, and he'll perform his own songs and songs he was featured on at the Hard Knock Life tour. Dragon will also appear on albums like We Are the Streets by the Lox, Eve, Let There Be Eve album, and a countless number of DMX and Rough Riders albums before dropping his solo album March 28, 2000. The Opposite of H2O had hit singles for Spit These Bars and Die For Me featuring DMX. Drag debut album would eventually go gold, selling over 500,000 copies worldwide. In 2004, Drag on to drop his sophomore album For Hell and Back under Virgin Records, which really didn't have any commercial success and a lack of promotion. This album by Drag didn't perform and do numbers like his first album, which would eventually lead to Dragon leaving Rough Riders and going independent. Now, after appearing on a countless number of DMX, Eve, and the Lox albums, rapping wouldn't be the only opportunity Drag would get. He'd actually get a role in the Cradle to the Grave movie with DMX and Jet Li, and Exit Wounds with DMX and Steven Seagal. Now, after Drag dropped his Hell and Back album, things would kind of get quiet for Dragon as far as his mainstream success. But Drag would still do his thing from time to time, and you'll hear music from him on a mixtape circuit. And in 2007, he'll drop his independent album For the Hood Environment. Now in 2009, Drag on to get another look, appearing on Jadakiss remix for his hit single Who's Real, alongside other members of the Rough Riders. Now around this time, Drag was on his grind, making numerous videos, trying to get his buzz back and promoting his Hood Environment record label. Now Drag on to put out videos like Letter to X and a number of freestyle videos, and supposedly he was trying to put out his last album under Rough Riders, but the album would never come out. Now also around this time, Dragon would start taking shots at Lil Wayne and even put out a diss record to Lil Wayne.
I'm the original fireman, straight up and down, straight but down. Listen, my first album is called The Opposite of H2O, mother. What is that? Fire.
Dragon problem with Lil Wayne is Lil Wayne put out a song called Fireman off his Carter 2 album and began to call himself the Fireman, and that was one of Dragon's AKAs first. Now what made things worse to Dragon is because he knew Lil Wayne and they traveled the world together on the Rough Riders and Cash Money tour. Now this is something that happened pretty often. The bigger rapper always usually steals something from a rapper that they feel is less famous and try to run with their whole little style and their whole gimmick. And this is nothing new, it been happening. But anyway, for the most part, Drag kind of got quiet after this whole situation again. And then he'll pop back on the scene in like 2015 maybe, dropping freestyle videos and mixtape series for his Bars on Fire. and he just got right back to it. Now Dragon is doing his thing, dropping freestyle videos like once a week, trying to get his buzz back. And the Gamer put out a joint called 92 Bars, mainly getting at Meek Mills off his 1992 album. Now this is 2016, and he basically took a shot at Dragon, saying, "You can't call yourself dope if you never bag none. I'm the old DMX, y'all just Dragon." Now Dragon didn't take the lyrics that Game said about him too lightly, and he responded to the Game on a freestyle to the Game song Higher, which featured 50 Cent. And you know, this feud never really went too far. It basically, after Dragon responded, it kind of ended. Now, as far as Dragon, he's still active right now, putting out music, freestyles, and dropping material for his core fan base. So you could go check him out on YouTube. He's still nice. He's still doing his thing. Definitely underrated. And I just feel like him being a protege of DMX, he could have been way bigger. Plus, he had the talent. Now, jump in my comment section and let me know what's your favorite Dragon record, or your favorite freestyle by Dragon, your favorite song by Dragon. You know, he was dope and all that. Let me know. My favorite joint by him is that joint with Beanie Sigel on the Rough Riders Volume 1 compilation with Beans and My Son and Moxburg. He'd be like, "Yo, it's the kid with the unlaced boots, unlace you, leave a hole in your face, you the size of a bagel. All my bullets hit, none of them graze you. If you never was, I'ma promise you this, I'ma front page you." Drag went crazy on that, but let me know what y'all think. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and more exclusive content coming. And I'm out. 1.